Hi folks, how you doing? Subscribe. I thought, I would talk about a Khesser, or the Khesser. 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 It has to do with turning back. It has to do with changing the course of something. Okay? Now, uh, these things that I talk about comes from mythology. And mythology of the stars, mythology of the planets, the sun, etc. But the mythology, okay, is actually designed to help human beings. So here we're talking about the Khesser. And this is for the purpose of helping the human being to maintain health, alertness, and to sustain the brain. To increase psychological well-being in a person. But it has to do with certain breathing exercises. Okay? So the turner back. During certain hours of the, let's say, the wee hours of the morning, around 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, people go through what we call, nocturnal emission, male and female. But the reproductive fluids involved, okay, when it comes to the turner back, the Khesser, these reproductive fluids are turned back. They're not permitted to leave the body, which is their usual course, to leave the body under these circumstances. But the turner back turns these fluids back, okay, into the body, and as a result of certain exercises that are not difficult, they're very simple actually, okay, and the use of the imagination, which is involved in these exercises, the person keeps the reproductive fluid within himself, okay, and through these breathing exercises, he imagined that these fluids are going up and down in his body as he does this deep breathing exercise. This purifies, no doubt, this purifies reproductive fluid. It refines it. It turns it white as snow, you see. This sort of gets us into the white crown that the ancient Egyptians wore, the king, the white crown. And in fact, there was a double crown, the red crown and the white crown. But we also see the ancient Egyptian, the pharaoh in a picture or something, or the god with a mace, a big bludgeon, a white mace, pure white mace, you see. And you see him hitting his enemies with it, you see. Well, this mace, this hammer, bludgeon, is the turner back. It represents that. It represents this very thing that I'm talking about, the Khesser, the turner back within the body. Refine the semen and it turns white, very white. This semen can be used, okay, to strengthen the body of its possessor and to strengthen the brain. It will make it can has the potential to make a psychological giant out of a person. By turning this back, by turning this hormonal fluids back into the body, doing the breathing exercises, okay, refines the semen, okay, and the semen will re-enter the bloodstream and nourish the body. The semen has about 6 or 7 times more nutritive value than the blood that's flowing through the brain, through the veins. Has far greater nutritive value than the blood in the bloodstream. So it's very nourishing for the organs of the body and the brain. It'll turn a person into a psychological giant, an intellectual giant, you see. The same thing goes for the female. In fact, the female has the double value. She also has, well, the reproductive fluids that she too, through the same exercise, she can turn back and have these fluids re-enter the bloodstream and nourish the organs of the body, including the brain. But the female also has a menstrual cycle, you see. And this blood does not have to leave the body, even though it does every month. Doesn't have to. Menstrual blood has about 6 or 7 times more nutritive value than what we find in the bloodstream. You see, those certain exercises, which are very simple, but requires repetition. You know, you just don't do it once. But every day, each day or something like that, you do a few minutes, you conduct this exercise, conduct the exercises. This exercise will return the menstrual blood back to the bloodstream, where it can service the organs of the body and the brain, making her a giant. She can too become a psychological giant by conducting these exercises. You see. As I said, these exercises come from the mythology. Our ancestors recognized these things, and they recognized them as being so valuable to humanity that when they described constellations in the sky, they embedded this information and much other information also. Not just this, but this is basic. This is it, you see. And they thought this information was so valuable that they put it in the stars when they described the stars or the constellations in the sky. You see, the constellations contain this and information and a good bit more information about human life. That's why it was there. That's why the constellations are there. You know, the ones that we know of, the ones that they describe, for the purpose of the human being. That's what mythology is for. Oh, and it's in the scriptures. These things are in the scriptures of each and every religion. You see, because all religions in this world are based on ancient mythology. Yeah, this is what religion is about. But it's difficult to understand because the scriptures are written in mythological terms called the sacred writings, the divine words, etc. Okay, folks. Nice talking to you. Subscribe, And I have much more to talk about over time. And I hope this has been interesting to you. And people can consider these things and whatnot, and do some research on them. And if it's, apply, increasing your own longevity and good health. Okay, folks. Have a good one. Subscribe, and I'll be back with you. All right. Bye bye.